I think the track will suit him. I think he's a speed horse rather than a stamina one. I think this track will suit him. Rating at 131, he's £16 on figures behind Sanctuary.
D. Russell in the very pale colours. You'll see him to the left of shot there with a white face. Number 4 there with Richard Johnson, the plate. A 33-1 shot. And they're beginning to sort themselves out now for the Matalan anniversary 4-year-old novices hurdle. Will Walsh and Nichols be at the double with Sanctuary? We will find out in the company of Stuart Machin. Good afternoon to you, Stuart.
Hello, Nick. Afternoon, everyone. Runners now filing out onto the course, about to make a line. Field of 11 being called forward by the starting team. Barazan in the hoops is to the fore. They cross out over the chase course and prepare to make a line. And they're off for the Grade 1 Matalan anniversary 4-year-old novices hurdle. And unsurprisingly, Barazan jumps off in front in the hands of AP and makes the long journey around to the first of the 9 flights. From Double Handful, who's wide of Nafar, Mavoisi in the orange jacket settling against the running rail. And then the nose-banded Novices de la Tour, who tracks the leading quartet. Orsipus in a yellow cap is towards the inner of Super Kenny in the pale silks. And then out a little wider as they make the turn on in D. Russell in a pearl pink jacket, racing quite keenly in the hands of Richard Johnson as Barazan picks up in front at the first flight. Hurdles it fluently. Not so Double Handful, who has gone at the first. Double Handful unseats Aidan Coleman, who'll be hoping for rather more luck in 48 hours' time in the National itself. So Double Handful out of the race at the first. Barazan not given much peace by the loose horse over the second flight, at which Sanctuary in the red jacket is held up with a Loffy, and Al-Qadaf with the noseband towards the right of the group is just about last. So heading up towards flight 3, but the last after another circuit, and Barazan at no more than an ordinary sort of gallop leads them over it. Al-Qadaf was sluggish towards the rear, and at the moment Aidan Coleman back at that first flight is yet to rise. The others well grouped as they head up with a circuit to cover, led by Barazan from Nafarth at his quarters. Mavoisi, the orange jacket, towards the inside. Then Novices de la Tour in the noseband, a half length to Super Kenny towards the inner. Orsipus in a yellow jacket, and then Sanctuary, who's circled by the keen-going D. Russell. The grey Loffy's towards the inner, and a couple of lengths away to Al-Qadaf as they make their journey towards the back straight in this next line of 3 flights of hurdles. Now, at the moment, back at the first flight, the markers are going in, and unfortunately Aidan Coleman is still down. So as things stand at present, it doesn't look as though they're going to be jumping the first flights in the home straight when they get there once more. Barazan on the sharp end as they straighten off down the back, still pressured by Nafarth. Mavoisi racing enthusiastically in behind them as they cross the third. Then Novices de la Tour from Super Kenny in a pearl blue jacket. Orsipus is towards the near side, tracked by the favourite Sanctuary. Walsh in the red silks. Then D. Russell from a Loffy, and still a 2 or 3 length break to Al-Qadaf as they approach the halfway point and move on towards flight number 5. Taken to it by Barazan, who's controlled the pace, but it hasn't been breakneck, and he certainly hasn't been given as long a lead as he was in the Triumph hurdle. AP patient in front on Barazan. A length away now to Nafarth, and then Mavoisi. Meanwhile, Sanctuary is racing comfortably back in the midfield, just wide of Super Kenny as they rise at the next flight over on the far side. And Orsipus towards the inner was perhaps not so fluent as 1 or 2 of the others, and Super Kenny bustled along for a stride or 2 on landing. So heading towards the far corner, and the long run towards what looks as though it's going to be the final couple of flights now. Super Kenny briefly trapped on heels as they left the back straight. Barazan is now beginning to wind the tempo up. Nafarth is still a length away. Mavoisi down the inner, angling for a position. Novices de la Tour with a noseband. Sanctuary red jacket making smooth headway from Super Kenny. Then a Loffy, the pink cat from Orsipus. D. Russell is pushed along, struggling to keep up, and is now at the tail with Al-Qadaf as Barazan swings the final part of the turn. They'll bypass what would have been the third last. Novices de la Tour is ranging up out wide. Mavoisi, the orange silks, poised to challenge, and still Walsh waiting in the wings on Sanctuary, turned down the straight in 4th. Nafarth is on the retreat as they race for the second last. Barazan is kicking on, but Sanctuary now goes off in pursuit. McCoy from Walsh as they draw towards the penultimate flight. Barazan, Sanctuary within a length on landing, and now comes up sides. Novices de la Tour was untidy when disputing third with Mavoisi, then Orsipus. Sanctuary now serves it up to the game. Barazan as they draw towards
towards the final flight. Then this long run in. Barazan against the fence, still just ahead. Sanctuaire a little untidy. Far side, Orsipus is staying on gamely under pressure from Davy Condon. Barazan under the fence. Orsipus down the far side. Sanctuaire now at the one pace, and Orsipus has come to mug both Barazan and Sanctuaire. A red letter day for Michael Smith as Orsipus draws away to win the Matalan Anniversary Novices hurdle. Barazan gallant in defeat once more, second. Sanctuaire third, then Alofi, and Alcadar was best of the others.
Oh, and now we have the romance. The rags to riches tale has arrived at Aintree in the shape of Orsipus, claimed out of the yard of Mick Shannon for a song by Michael Smith, and he wins a Grade 1 for Davy Condon. Third at the Cheltenham Festival, and he has stormed home today, this gelding by Sunday break, to win at Aintree. What a story, what a performance. Sanctuaire was cantering between two out in the last, and having pulled hard early, he didn't quite find. It was another gallant effort from the front by Barazan, but he didn't establish the break on his field that he had done